Warning, F-bombs are armed and may be dropped. Okay. There's a case out of Florida of a parking lot shooting. Here's the undisputed facts. On the afternoon in question, a Mr. MᶜGLOCKTON had picked up his girlfriend and drove to a convenience store. He parked in an unmarked handicapped space. Okay. Flag on the play there. If it's not properly marked, it's not a handicapped space. You can't enforce it. You can be as pissed as you want, but it's not a handicapped space. There's a reason why the rule is written the way it is. And push me on this. I'll make a whole video just about that. All right. In the car was Ms. Jacobs, that's the girlfriend, with at least 2 children. All right, she's in the passenger seat at this point. And a Mr. DREJKA. He sees the vehicle parked in the handicapped space. He blocks him in, gets out, and approaches the vehicle, pointing at it, he's shouting something, all right, making a scene. All right. Stop right there with the purely factual. This is my channel. I can speculate if I want. Here's what I'm going to say. DREJKA has an attitude problem. He does. He's got an attitude problem. He's probably a mandatory exemption E, a D, delta. Psychologically incompetent. All right. Maybe an C, mentally incompetent. Either way, he's got an attitude problem. Okay? A lot of people in this world do. All right. So Jacobs is sitting in the car. He's listening to that stupid old man ranting because apparently he's not unknown in the community. MᶜGLOCKTON is inside. He hears about what's going on outside while he's still inside from apparently the clerk. All right. He doesn't even hear what's going on. He doesn't see it. He hears about it from the cashier. Okay. He comes outside, picking up the undisputed facts again. He comes outside and confronts DREJKA, and at some point hits DREJKA so hard that he knocks him to the ground. That's an undisputed fact. DREJKA, while he's still on the ground, pulls out apparently a .40 caliber and shoots MᶜGLOCKTON, and he dies about an hour later. All right. Dropping the undisputed facts there again, because the disputed facts are what's going to come up next. First of all, there's some allegations, first of all, that DREJKA has a history of his own with road rage. No convictions, but a history. MᶜGLOCKTON has a history with domestic violence, but not non-domestic violence, apparently. So, what really happened? Well, probably 2 fucking big egos ran head-on into each other. I'm just going to say it. There's 2 big ego assholes who ran head-on into each other. Gets worse. First of all, MᶜGLOCKTON, under several state laws, should have had a felony of his own. All right, the domestic violence charges, which kept getting dropped for reasons that are highly questionable. Because I'm under the impression Florida has the same laws as like 45 of the other states. So, why was his charges dropped? We'll come back to that later. DREJKA had 3 previous road rage incidents. or excuse me, accusations. Okay, but no convictions. He denies them, all of them, and there's no evidence. Said a moment ago, he's not unknown in the community. That's not abnormal, right? If you get known by your neighbors as kind of an asshole, they're going to treat you like an asshole and saying, you know, he pointed at me. Okay? And I know this guy. And I know he's got a gun. And he pointed at me. I'm going to tell the cops he pointed a gun at me. On the other hand, he may have actually pointed a gun at somebody. I don't know. All right. Either way, whatever the hell it was, MᶜGLOCKTON coming out and hitting people, there was no excuse for that. And DREJKA getting hit probably did think this is the moment. All right. To convince me otherwise, you would have to convince me that DREJKA has been going around town for over a year now, looking for an excuse to shoot somebody. Okay, well, that's not okay, first of all. Second of all, like I said before, this guy's a C or D exemption, right? Clearly there would have been something wrong here. And for a state that's been bragging about the red flag laws, it strikes me as awful strange that nobody has called the cops yet about this DREJKA guy and had them confiscated. You want to keep lying to me, Florida? Please, by all means, keep lying to me. So, MᶜGLOCKTON is a legitimately bad actor. DREJKA is probably a bad actor. And this Jacobs lady is simply caught in the crossfire between these two assholes. Alright? First of all, let's talk about some priority issues. Alright? Amongst other things, kind of sort of know a little bit about your own laws. Right? This handicap space was not enforceable. Now, I got some other opinions about enforceability in handicap spaces. Right? But right here and now, this space was not enforceable. So DREJKA was out of line, making this huge issue about it. Especially as this apparently was the second time he'd made an issue out of it. That's the part you hadn't heard yet. This is not the first time he's gotten into an argument with somebody at this particular store, according to the store's owner. Alright. No guns were involved in that, but this isn't the first time he's done this. MᶜGLOCKTON is a punk-ass bitch. Just gonna say it. He's got a history of beating girlfriends up. Like, at least 3 of them now. Alright? And now here's this stupid old man causing trouble again. Oh, another thing. These two were, in particular, were not unknown to each other. There had been a previous confrontation. I'm sorry, I lost the reference. It might have been over the parking spot. I'm not sure. Now, we all know a MᶜGLOCKTON. Alright? And we all know a DREJKA. So let's not any of us pretend that those kinds of people don't exist. And MᶜGLOCKTON swung first, and very clearly swung with a real intention. Right? I'm kind of confused if DREJKA has this local reputation for pulling guns on people in traffic, apparently constantly, then how is it MᶜGLOCKTON didn't know about that reputation? But we'll talk about that later. No, let's talk about that now. MᶜGLOCKTON's an asshole. He doesn't care. All right, he's gonna take on the old man this time for damn sure. And he picked the wrong side of the argument to be on. All right, he knew what kind of guy this was, and he still went for it. Come on, don't try and blow smoke up my ass. It's a one-way door. All right, he wanted the fight, and then he realized it was real. Only too late. DREJKA is lying on the ground. This is like 2.5 seconds after he's hit the ground. 2.5 seconds is not a long time. Right? And if you do not believe me, I dare any one of you to do 2 push-ups in 2.5 seconds, flip over, and point your finger at a light fixture or something. All right? And tell me how fast you could see that light fixture. DREJKA is not guilty of any manslaughter. Yeah, he's an asshole. And after this, I seriously question his competence in general. But manslaughter for this? No. Bring up a related issue. His first name, I think, is Michael. But Michael is a pretty universal Euro first name, given name for male. Delta, Romeo, Echo, Juliet, Kilo, Alpha. DREJKA. I wonder if he's English? French? Spanish? No, he's clearly Eastern Europe. Russian, Ukrainian, something in that general region. You want to tell me there was no racism involved in this case? Fine. You fucking lie to me. Do it in the comments. I got plenty of time to ignore you. Either way, the MᶜGLOCKTONs and the DREJKAs of the world are the reason why the rest of us need to keep calm and mandatory carry on.